Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another Tuesday video. The videos in which I just basically take a look at some cool stuff that I've found kicking around. New model kits, new releases, just stuff like that, and just kind of share it with you. This particular week, we're going something a little outside of the typical norm here, and we're going to actually take a look at a release from Skullforge Studios. The link will be in the description below. Be sure to check it out. And this is a 3D printed model. So obviously we all know 3D printing has become very hot lately. It's being very much adopted and taken up by the community. We're starting to see some really cool stuff. Of course, there's been some controversy around it as well. But we are not here to stir controversy on that one. We're actually just here to kind of encourage something cool. So what we have here is actually the Hydra Stomper from Skullforge Studios. This is obviously modeled after the Hydra Stomper from the MCU What If on Disney+. And it is a rather cool model. It was not released alone. There is, in fact, a Captain Carter that goes with it, but unfortunately she is not painted up, but still a fantastic model nonetheless. But anyway, yeah, so we got the Hydra Stomper here, and it is just a great model. It's actually got some really nice size to it. Just to give it a little bit of comparison here, we got, we'll just compare it to a larger G-Dub model right there, and you can see right there that it stands above what the G-Dub model is in this particular case, the Morven Vol. So it is a hefty model. It's got some good bulk on it as well, and the details on it are actually really solid as well. One downside is it doesn't come with its own base, so I actually had to, I didn't have a 65mm base of my own, so I had to 3D print one, and obviously I found one which is a little bit too thin, so we got some issues there with it. But just taking a look at the detail of the model itself, like let's just get right in here. And it's got some really solid detail, like all the panels on the armor. It takes line highlighting really well. Lots of little details like the inner workings of the armor right there. You know, little gaps everywhere. The jetpack itself has some really nice touches to it as well. Jetpack thrusters, I'm not entirely sure. Even sort of like the arm mounted arsenal here. A couple things that I did notice, and I think this is more probably my printer more than anything else. I did have some issues with this particular finger. I did try a couple prints, and for whatever reason, I could not get that finger to print. I wasn't able to get the supports where they needed to be. But aside from that, I mean, it's a fairly solid one. My first attempt with it, like even the little flamethrower here, yeah, there we go. The little flamethrower there failed to kind of come out properly as well. But the second time around definitely worked a lot better. But this is the kind of thing that I really love about 3D printing and what it brings to the table. It gives outlets for different models that aren't being produced. And I think that's where a lot of people are kind of missing the script when it comes to 3D printed models. If you're just going to copy line for line, word for word, exactly what the other people are doing, you know, that's not really creative. That's just kind of skirting some legalities there, and I mean people can justify it however they want. But stuff like this, the Hydra Stomper, sorry, does not have its own model. AMG is not currently producing one, so you know this makes for a nice little thing. It allows us to proxy in some models, have some fun with stuff. And I really dig it. I really like the look of the model. I really like the size of the model. It even scales really well with other MCP models. Like we got War Machine right here, and you can see like there is a good scale difference between the two right there. So it works really well. The guys at Skullforge Studios have done a really solid job putting this together. It took the details so nicely. It feels like a really good quality print to it. Just all the details are wonderful on it. Like there was a nice attention to everything when they put it together. Now, unfortunately, because there's no unboxing component to this video, it ends up being a little bit shorter, and there's only so much I can gush on it. One of the other cool things that did come from this release as well, and the same is true of their Captain Carter, as well as a couple other ones that they've released, you actually got a couple different poses with it as well. So, I mean, this is a little bit more of a straightforward pose. There's more of like a just standing at attention type of pose, which is really nice. It gives you those options. If you don't like one pose, you can easily run with another one, which I really like. Having those sort of options is great, especially considering it all prints in one piece. This was not something that I had to assemble. I didn't have to play around on the build plate. I got a pre-supported model, tossed it on the build plate, and went from there. And this is the result I got, which I'm genuinely fairly happy with. Like I said, the one finger kind of a pain. But that's kind of minor in the grand scheme of things. So all in all, I really like it. I think Skullforge Studios kind of knocked it out of the park. I'm definitely going to be taking a look at a couple more of their things. But yeah, like if you have yourself a 3D printer, go grab this model. Like it is a lot of fun. They have a really great library elsewhere as well. A lot of Legion stuff as well. Or if you find someone who has one of the commercial licenses to print and sell their stuff, definitely go check that out as well. But yeah, adds a nice little bit of flavor and variation to the game, and let you play around a little bit more. In my particular case, I'm actually going to be running him as a Hulkbuster until that comes out. So you can actually expect to see him in an upcoming Marvel Crisis Protocol battle report. And yeah, hopefully he does well. But either way, I'm really happy to have him painted up. I'm happy to have him on the table. So anyway, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Try to keep the discussion of pro or anti 3D printing out of the discussion. That is for a different location. But leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we are going to see you next week. Happy wargaming.